Rex Tillerson arrived to meet Russian officials in Moscow all smiles and hearty handshakes. Nevertheless, the US Secretary of State faces a difficult meeting with Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, partly because of his very direct language during the past few days.
It is our policy for a unified Syria that is governed by the people of Syria. I think it's clear to all of us that the reign of the Assad family is coming to an end.
The White House is stopping short of calling for regime change in Syria, but President Trump's main administration officials are now saying openly that Bashar Al-Assad cannot stay in power. At the same time, the Americans insist that defeating Daesh is still the main priority.
ISIS is in our crosshairs, and that's what our conduct of the campaign in Syria is designed to take on ISIS and defeat them. This other effort that came up in the midst of that had to be addressed because it addresses a vital national interest of ours that chemical weapons not be used.
Following the United States confirmation that sarin was used by the Syrian regime last week, Tillerson will want to impress on the Russians they should cooperate to isolate Assad and enforce the international ban on using chemical weapons. The White House administration believes Russia has tried to cover up and shift any blame away from the Syrian regime. But there are concerns too on what is the US policy on Syria.
This is a dramatic change. A couple of days before Assad used chemical weapons, Tillerson and Haley both said, we don't care how long Assad stays in power. Our goal is to defeat ISIS. And if this is a change in American policy, very dramatic, to try and have regime change in Syria would be overwhelming for the United States to try and accomplish.
Tillerson's pitch is expected to be straightforward, that it's time for Russia to choose between further isolation or cooperation with Western countries to secure peace in Syria. President Vladimir Putin will have to decide if protecting the Assad regime is more important. And as Russian troops continue to be visible on the Ukrainian border and near European Union states, no wonder at Tuesday's G7 foreign ministers meeting there was an unwillingness to impose more sanctions on Russia, at least for the time being. Iolo Dafydd, TRT World, Washington, D.C.